This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District. The water is quite aesthetically pleasing, or so Barrett has told me. New Atlantis relies on advanced hydroelectrics for most of its power.
We just need to convince her that President Abayo isn't the same as her predecessors. That an adversarial UC is a thing of the past.
Does Radcliffe even need to be involved?
President Abayo wants to foster relations, not fracture them. Keep up.
We'll make sure she knows, ma'am.
Good. I'll see you at the 11:30 then.
Wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been. Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside. Captain, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Oh, ridiculous. Easiest bet I'll ever win.
You think what I'm suggesting is so outlandish? All the phenomenon we see out in the stars, and what I'm saying is the most impossible theory?
You two keep going on like this, and I'm banning wagers. I'm serious.
We'll play nice. Just a little friendly conversation, Sarah, that's all.
We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't? Very well. This is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions. Speaking of which, where is Barrett? Sarah Morgan, Chair of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, if you would please answer my question. I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything? Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Country?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting. Now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours? We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us. Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal, another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now. You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, Why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? Hmm? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head. What can I help you with? You mind putting your signature on some documents?
It's almost as if you think I'm made of credits. What is it this time?
Fuel isn't free, I'm afraid. This artifact hunt is keeping us busy.
Good thing you've got me around, Miss Moore. Who knows how you get by on your own.
You and I both know you have the credits to spare, and you love every minute of this.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too.
Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line. Yes, you're right. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard. Yes, well, a stocked bar is a treat I think Constellation can afford. For now. But if you clean us out, you're on your own. By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need. Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home, as much as anywhere else. Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here. Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you? Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar, in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years. We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days. Until next time.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us. Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter's quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually.
Very
Let's head
funny,
upstairs.
Walter. You know
Sebastian
Constellation
Banks,
thinks
Constellation's founder, had this
Wasn't
place
born
built
yesterday.
decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
I am at your service, Captain.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full. Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
Just, checking in, seeing how you're doing.
At present, all systems are functioning well within established parameters.
Right. Well then, keep up the good work.
Yes, Walter Stroud. I will. hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you. Captain, now that you are a member of Constellation, I am at your service. No additional protocols necessary. Also, given the likelihood that you will be out in unsettled space, it might be beneficial to go over exploration outpost development, in case you ever need to build a base for field research. The exploration of an unknown planet can be a major undertaking. By building an outpost, you will be able to construct scanning equipment, resource extractors, and defenses. It is even possible to set up multiple outposts capable of manufacturing, allowing you to build advanced equipment. The scan booster is the most obvious, as it will enable you to detect landmarks and other points of interest from further away. Beyond that, extractors will allow you to collect raw materials of various types, while fabricators enable the manufacturing. A particularly prosperous outpost may even warrant the construction of cargo links, allowing you to share resources between other outposts you have built. A planetary scan will reveal the presence of key inorganic resources, although rarer elements will be harder to find without training. And while a scan may detect the presence of life on a planet, you will have to analyze the native plants and animals yourself to know what compounds they produce. The blueprints you need to construct an outpost should already be on your watch. It will automatically connect to any available materials for construction in your ship's cargo. My primary function has been to support and protect Barrett during his travels. I am currently unable to do so. That is as capable as I can be of missing anyone. I believe Barrett would find your question amusing. Barrett has, thus far, survived every mission on which we have embarked. It is therefore evident that my efforts have been successful. I suspect that Barrett would disagree with how necessary my intervention has been in any given situation. I arrived along with many material goods purchased by the group's previous chair, Malcolm Livingstone. Despite several significant system replacements and upgrades, I have been online for 43 years. Captain, I will proceed to my assigned post.
As much as I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time, and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still. Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something, an energy surge, some other phenomenon. He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't. There might be a reasonable explanation. I wasn't there. I didn't see what you saw. I'm just not in a position to say for sure. It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right? Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this. Oh, gosh, no. I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us. Well, right now, nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition, I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep. Anything I can learn from is a help. Of course, there's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet. Stay safe, okay?
What can I help you with?
Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but I feel like if I did, now would be a good time for one. Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo. Theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us. Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits. Not necessarily, no, but it does kind of have the hallmarks of one, doesn't it? I'm certainly not gonna rule it out just yet. That sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts. It's all connected. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found.
But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Take care of yourself.
Captain, greetings.
Yeah, what is it? So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else? We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel. I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways. Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do. We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising. A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to. We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together. Felt the same way when I started, too. There's an electricity in the air when you know you're about to uncover something. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry. We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood? Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
No, I'm not feeling that bad.
We have an appointment. You're seeing the doctor. That's it.
Maybe some other time. I have that report that's due.
I talked to your boss. She agreed that you need to take care of yourself. I know it's tough, honey, but a lot of times the earlier they catch something, the better it is.
You're right. I know you're right. I just wish they wouldn't keep us waiting so long.
You have to trust the science, the medical knowledge.
The procedure is low risk, but that still means risk.
Citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities, and to uphold the values of the Vanguard, honor, loyalty, self-reliance in all your actions as members of the United Colonies Navy.
I do.
Then I'm proud to welcome you to the Vanguard. Now, you all have your assignments. Get out there and show them what the UC's made of. Supra et Ultra.
only one person.
It's so overwhelming.
Hey! Oh, you're not Carl. Sorry. I shouldn't assume. Maybe you go by Carl. You're just not the Carl I was waiting for. We're supposed to be investigating a power drain down here. People have been reporting brownouts for a while, and Mass finally decided to follow up on it. I can't be in two places at once, and Carl isn't here, so I'm just trying to look inconspicuous. We're trying to isolate a power drain, which looks like it's the result of a large amount of power being rerouted through various subsystems. But it's kind of a two-person job. Someone needs to find the junction boxes associated with those subsystems and power them down. The other person needs to monitor the system remotely. It's pretty simple, really, and relatively safe. Only a small chance of electrocution. Co-worker of mine on this assignment with me. Clearly not taking it seriously. Not really surprising. Most folks are fine with ignoring what goes on down here. Well, since you're here and Carl isn't, and I really want to get this solved, I will take you up on that. What I need isn't very technical. I can talk you through it remotely. I'm gonna head to the monitoring station. The first box we're looking for is over near UC Surplus. You know, Antonio's place. I can contact you once you get there.
She lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
Hey, can you hear me? I think this is working. I only have a general view of things, but you should be near the first junction box. Look for it mounted on the wall. When you find it, open it up and flip the big switch.
It's an option.
That's it. Great job. So that tripped the secondary breaker, and that goes to... Oh, wow, really? They wired it like that? Jeez, okay. Okay, got it. Next one is way down past Jake's, and maybe up a story or two? It's a bit of a hike. Sorry.
Problem?
The overdraft fees at Galbank are out of control.
All right, you should be near the next junction box. This section isn't used very much these days, so it may be a little harder to see. That's the one. Next one's not too far. Dead end, right down from Jake's. Right under that apartment they've been trying to sell. Good luck with that, right? You should be near the next junction box. And if those squatters never cleared out, I would suggest avoiding eye contact. It should be fine. Another switch flipped, another lead to follow. And the lights in here just flickered too. The wiring is worse than I thought. I'm going to work on fixing that little issue while you find the next junction box. Looks like it's over near the Trade Authority. Okay, just find that and maybe don't talk to anyone about it just yet.
unless you're in for a real tangle of cabling. Like 200 years of fill attempts to rewire things. I tried to fix it 3 years back and was crying by the second day. Gave up on the third. Anyway, there should be a series of secondary breakers you need to deal with before you can access the junction box. I don't remember the order, but flip levers until all those circuits are powered down. Wow, you got it. Really well done. You saved me like a week of work. Why didn't you meet me at the monitoring station, near where we met?
Signed up for a test pilot program just the other day. I'm not gonna end up like these lifers and well rats. No way. Not me.
I help out Henry from time to time. Not very often these days. But that's fine. Don't mind me. Just a weary man, resting his feet. Oh, Henrik is an old friend of mine. I help out around here from time to time. But I don't just loiter around. I'm involved in my own business endeavor as well. Maybe a little, but that's not such a bad thing, is it? Better than all the noise and attention topside, if you ask me. Unfortunately, I'm quite old-fashioned. I only deal with associates that I know and trust. But if you do a small favor for me, I might feel comfortable opening my business up to you. All you need to do is pick up a package from Red Mile and deliver it to me. You don't even need to interact with anyone. I'm not at liberty to discuss that yet, but I assure you, it's quite lucrative. The contents are of no interest to you, and they're not contraband if that's what you're wondering. If you're uncomfortable doing this favor, you're free to decline. Fantastic. I eagerly await your return. Stay out of trouble.
Ever wonder how the crypto fleet seems to be everywhere? You think it'll get out?
Did I say thank you? Because thank you. There's no way I could have done that in a reasonable amount of time all by myself. Maybe in the short term, but overall it paid off. Thanks to your help, I was able to trace the power drain. I know where it's coming from. Unfortunately, the source is exactly where I was afraid it was. The Trade Authority. So that's something that I'll need to deal with. That'll be fun. If you want to tag along, I certainly wouldn't complain, but if not, then this is where we part ways. thanks to you, we've got evidence that the Trade Authority is behind the power drain being reported down here. I don't know if you ever dealt with the Trade Authority, but Zoe is intimidating. I have to go in there, but I really, really don't want to. You think you'd be willing to go with me? Just make sure this doesn't go badly? I don't know. I feel like I'm the one who's going to wind up in trouble. Zoe's got a way of twisting things. Thanks. That means a lot. I can do the talking, I think. Just be ready for, well, anything.
You'll have to remind me of your name, dear. I'm afraid I can't keep track of all your little worker drones.
I'm Luisa Reyes. Well, you know that, because I've been in here 3 times.
Yes, of course you are. And what was it you were accusing me of with absolutely no evidence?
The power drain is coming from your building, Zoe. You and I both know it, and now I can prove it.
I'm sorry, what?
We traced the drain, checked the grid. It led us here. You can't talk your way out of this.
I'm going to ask you to wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, just be ready for anything. I don't know if she's going to come out of there with a gun or call in mercenaries or what.
Don't worry. Whatever happens, we're prepared to handle the situation.
I don't want this to turn out violent if we can avoid it, okay? Believe me, I really, really hope I am. But I'll tell you, people in my division tell stories about Zoe. She's got a lot of influence. Okay, you're probably right. Just need to breathe.
Well, Miss Reyes, I apologize for not taking this matter more seriously. I assure you I will eagerly assist in getting to the bottom of this.
No, you're not weaseling out of this. We got to the bottom of it. You are the bottom.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for your work, but I do a little more research before casting aspersions. Someone has indeed been using this location through which to route electrical power. It is not the Trade Authority. I've had my suspicions for a while, and have been keeping detailed notes, which I'm happy to share with you. For now, though, what do we do next?
Wait, what?
Oh, for heaven's sake. I presume you've been assisting Miss Reyes in tracking down this little problem. Well, clearly there's more work to be done. Why don't you continue the work you've been doing with an assurance that the Trade Authority will compensate you for your time? I'll coordinate things here with Miss Reyes. With Mast's access to the grid, we'll find out who did this soon enough. And why. Presumably, you're the one who's been doing the field work, so I believe you'll find there's another junction box out there in the well that needs your attention.
Okay, well, this is not how I saw this going. For the moment, let's assume this is all legitimate. I can sort out the details with Zoe. So why don't you go investigate the next junction box?
Even in the well, the Trade Authority continues to flourish. Makes you sick, doesn't it? Excuse me.
I'm gonna be a big-time space pilot someday. Gonna have my own ship, my own crew, my own corporate sponsor. I'm working on it. Taking the UC Vanguard exams. Saving up for my own ship. You know how it works. It's just taking a little longer than I expected. Yeah, but I ain't getting any younger, and every day in the well is like 4 days topside. You want food? Go to Kay's. You want an attitude? Try Jake's. You want to feel empty inside? Get your bags and move in. Seriously though, this place is half doom and all gloom, which is precisely why I'm leaving. Only because they're all a bunch of quitters, whose only goal is to make it to the weekend. I got plans, I got ambition. All I need is a shot. See ya.
Always nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you'd like. Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take any shit.
Join a crew. Any openings? I'm a propulsion specialist, so I can help you squeeze a bit more juice out of your ship's engines. I'm not asking for much, just a reasonable share. Then you're not hiring me. It's simple math.
Some of the shit from the Freestar systems might actually kill you. Drink enough of it. But you know, it's cheap, so silver linings and all that.
Bye. What's it gonna be?
Down here, like that's somehow different from other bars. Worse, maybe? That's what we're implying? What are you? A structural engineer? Some mass egghead? I know full well what down here lies. Yeah? Alright.
Like they own the settled systems. Never use old, abandoned facilities as outlets. They say never hire a man when a machine can do it for free. Down here, people can't afford the machine. I'm not much for prayer. Tried it once, didn't stick. But maybe it's like tape, and I was just on the wrong side. What you see is what you get. Work's rough, day's rougher. But I like to think when things get bad, that's when people's kindness shines brightest. Even down here, where the sun don't shine. No, I came here like a lot of folks, looking for work. It's an ongoing search. Ones who've been here for a while, they can't even sleep unless they got a turbine in their ear. Maybe someday I'll be the same. Nope, just, make sure you wipe your feet. You track mud in, then someone's gotta sweep it out. Most days, that's me. Take it easy.
The sooner you find the source of all this, the sooner.
What do you want? I'm very busy, as you can tell.
Hey there. You should be getting close. Hello? Is this functional? I insist that you provide updates for any suspicious activity. Is that clear?
And Zoe's here too, if you hadn't guessed.
We've agreed to work together on this. Once you throw the switch, we can direct you to the next junction box. That's it, thanks. Let's just take a look here. Okay, you're going to want to head for box 45A. It should be near Apex Electronics. You can't possibly be serious. Are you looking at the same diagram I am? 47B is obviously the next one. It's on the same level. Zoe, I know how to read. Ignore her. Head for box 45A, okay? I appreciate that you've listened to reason. The junction box should be just nearby. We'll have this solved in short order.
Miss Reyes is still collecting the necessary diagrams and blueprints to accurately assess the situation before she returns. I'm going to make you an offer. Whatever you find at the end of this path, you bring it to me first. I'll be certain that Mast gets what it needs. But I trade in valuable information. I suspect you're going to find some. I guarantee you the Trade Authority will pay well. Consider that as you head towards the residential district. We can't pinpoint the source yet, but it's somewhere over there.
Sergeant Yumi's looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
So I dusted last spaceship, but then I realized my tank sprung a leak. I'm stuck.
Hey, you should be getting close. Looks like it's somewhere near Athena Tower. Zoe says there's a junction box on the building's exterior. I'm not sure why she knows that.
One never knows when information might be useful.
Okay, well, we're going to discuss that later. I'll check in once you flip the switch. Well, that's unexpected. Powering down that junction doesn't show any other connections.
Clearly, the source must be inside that residential tower.
Yeah, that would make sense. You know, I think I remember seeing a report about power problems on one of the upper floors. I bet it's related. See if you can get up there.
You're here because you need something you can connect with, something you could count on. Am I right? Welcome to Centurion Arsenal. It is my absolute pleasure to assist you with any purchases or questions you may have. All sales are final, but that won't matter because you will undoubtedly be pleased with your purchase. You have my word. Well, that's not a simple question, is it? It all depends on who's asking. I have my own personal favorites, but I wouldn't presume to know yours. Tell me, were you to find yourself in the unfortunate position of needing to use a weapon, what suits you best? Something up close and personal? Rapid fire? Is precision a consideration? Ah, yes. Well, if efficiency is a priority, then you really can't go wrong with Allied armaments. They've been supplying the UC for years, and for good reason. Is that a surprise? These are potentially matters of life and death we're talking about here. Please, take a look.
I'm meeting my girlfriend for drinks at the Viewport tonight.
Life in New Atlantis moves pretty fast. I do my best to keep up. You kidding me? Nowhere else like it in the settled systems. First time I came here as a kid, I knew I was gonna come back and make my mark on this city. Nowhere I'd rather be. And now that I've got this place up and running, it's all coming together. Nice and steady, just the way I like it. I've got a good location, plenty of foot traffic, and a ton of people who are in a hurry and need to make a quick stop for the essentials. If things keep going this way, I'm gonna start opening franchises all over the settled systems. No problem. Happy to serve.
I want to learn how to play an instrument. But
I've got limited resources. Try not to.
What do you want? I'm very busy, as you can tell.
No lawyering, okay? I don't have the patience for it. Can't say I'll have what you need, but you're welcome to look. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. It's fine. Just maybe give things an extra thought before you let them roll right out of your mouth. Happy to make a deal if I can. Stay safe out there.
That lock didn't last very long.
That your ship that landed not too long ago? Sure is something.
You know you can't give Zoe anything, don't you? So you tracked it down. You've got something to show for it? Great. I'll get this back to Mass for analysis. I'm not stupid. I know Zoe probably made you an offer. I appreciate that you didn't take it. And I'm really glad we got to work together on this. So, looks like maybe someone thought they could hack into Calibank's system. In fact, looks like maybe they did. Still want to claim you had nothing to do with this, Zoe?
My dear, why in the world would I want to break the law? And Galbank, no less. I do quite enough business with them as it is.
All right. Well, I'll have some people look over this. Maybe they'll be in touch.
I very much doubt that.
See you around.
If there's something you need, no matter what it is, either I have it or I can get it. Welcome to the Trade Authority. If you're here on legitimate business, I would be more than happy to help you. If, however, you are here under false pretense, say, sent by one Miss Tsang of UC Distribution, then I'm afraid you'll find nothing illegitimate here to report to her. And I'd ask that you pass along my request to stop these silly games. So, what'll it be? Perhaps, but I'm quite confident in my business, and I refuse to be intimidated. Please, let me know if I can assist you further. I thought the name made it rather obvious. We are the authority on trade in the settled systems. Whether it's bulk cargo, specialty items, or individual requests, we make sure things get where they need to go. We have shipping lanes across the settled systems and deal with nearly every major corporation and faction there is. We've been in New Atlantis for a very long time, before most things topside were built. With lots of infrastructure already in place, ample storage, and discreet access to the spaceport, it makes sense to stay. It's had the unintentional, but not unwelcome, side effect of weeding out people who can be timid about doing business. That depends. If you have a ship and are willing to haul cargo, then we've got some work. Otherwise, you're gonna have to be more specific. We frequently post cargo running jobs up on the mission boards around town. Check them out. I've heard our jobs pay well, and on the off chance that's not what you're looking for, well, I can't really help you then. Many different parties use the mission board to post jobs for freelancers and the like. For example, the Trade Authority uses them to post cargo hauling jobs. You'll usually find mission boards in bars, typically ones nearest the spaceport. You might be able to find them elsewhere, but that's your best bet. The Trade Authority has access to goods and services. Of course.